Hi. So, this is actually the shed I was telling you about. I'm fixing it up, and it's more to my taste. Still have some stuff to do in here, but right there, that is Sedona water, and it comes from the earth. And so, one of the housemates goes once a week to get Sedona water, so it's like the best water, and it tastes completely different than the regular bottled water out there. But anywho, so staying true to what I said, I'm going to be doing videos at least once a week. Um, so I'm learning a whole lot out here because, just being out here in the beautiful, beautiful nature, it just gives me much more energy, um, much more to work with, energy-wise. And I mean, even though I'm like not getting a lot of sleep, I'm waking up like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I think it's just, because I can have my time then, and it just has worked out that way. But I'm actually okay when it comes to, um, not being so tired. But anywho, so I started talking a little bit about the personalities um, last week, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about that. Um, so another personality that I had her name was Sassy. And Sassy was the bold part of me. Sassy was the part of me that could speak up for herself. And she was it wasn't that she was arrogant, it was that she was just bold and just really did not give a shit what anybody else thought about what she had to say. It was an important aspect of myself. And, as I started last week, I believe that we all have different parts of ourselves, although not dissociated to that degree. But we all do have those parts of ourselves that we let out or allow out in certain circumstances in our life or situations in our life. We act, if we go to the bar and we have a couple drinks, we tend to be a little bit more uninhibited, or when we're with our friends there, if we're dancing, there's a different aspect to ourselves than our normal everyday self. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. But I just kind of liken my personalities to aspects of all of us. So, now, Sassy was bold and didn't care what anybody else thought. But when I integrated, there was an aspect of her that was still with me, but I lost it. I lost that confidence. When we have a problem after problem after problem, that can happen. And especially if we don't know what to do, if we don't, realize that, affirmations and the way we think affects the way we speak, which affects the way we act, which affects our destiny. So, but yeah, Sassy was bold, but she wasn't, like I said, she wasn't arrogant. Now, there was another one, her name was Diva. Diva was, well, you can tell by her name, she was arrogant. She was the one who was beyond bold. She really didn't give a rip what anybody thought, but sometimes a lot of times in not very nice ways. So I saw Diva as a protector. She was a protector because Diva would sock you in the face if she felt need be. Diva was the one with the, high black boots and the really tight dress and, just really like, don't fuck with me. So, and Diva did not acknowledge the children. So Diva was like, I don't have any kids. They're not my responsibility. They're Arlene's responsibility. And, I can liken her to those aspects, the dark side of ourselves that we often don't want to accept. But there's treasure, and this is what I'm learning, as well. I'm always learning. So, I mean, when I say this is what I'm learning, I mean, it's just what's fresh right now. That, you know, we need to accept the dark sides of ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with our dark sides. Our dark sides are just, you know, when we blow up, you know, at someone and then we feel bad later, you know, those are the dark aspects of ourselves. And so I have noticed that that's been coming up a lot lately, but my response to it is different. I'm catching myself. I'm much more aware. I'm catching myself quicker. I'm realizing a flow in how to deal with that, because I oftentimes would feel guilty. You know, I messed up. Oh, I yelled at this person, or, you know, I had these bad thoughts, or, you know, and we all go through that, right? So, but just, you know, I've been shown this before. I mean, I've been told this before just through research, but it didn't really click. It's starting to click now. The flow of that really is just when something like that happens, we have to be like an observer. We don't take it on. We just accept that this happened, and we're still okay, because we're not perfect humans. Never, ever are we ever perfect humans. So, so, so I'm learning to do that. So sassy and diva, I guess those two are good ones to, you know, they're like each other. There are others, well, I'll share about them another time, but, you know, we need a sassy part of ourselves. We need a diva part of ourselves, especially as women. I mean, for men, that's not diva, but I mean, you know, that bold part of ourselves, it doesn't take the crap we shouldn't take. And, you know, I've been learning as well is how not to take the crap we shouldn't take. Because giving back crap for crap isn't how we deal with it. I mean, it's just not. I mean, we're just going to create more crap. So, I've learned to humble myself. I mean, it's difficult when someone treats you poorly and, you know, you added to it, and you take responsibility for your part, and they don't take responsibility for theirs. But you know what? Their part is none of my business. Their part is none of your business. Your part is your business. And when we finally can get to that place where we can take responsibility for ourselves, regardless of whether somebody else is taking responsibility for themselves, we're really growing up. I mean, we're becoming more and more mature. And it just, regardless of your circumstances, it just makes life easier. I mean, my life is getting easier just dealing with things, responding to things, or even just responding to my own reactions to things in a more healthy way. There's just more peace, and I'm able to let go of attitudes quicker, you know, or holding odd against myself. Because really, I mean, I think we all hold odd against ourselves more than we do other people. You know, and that's just a reflection. I mean, if we're pissed off at everybody all the time, that means we've got to look inward, because we're pissed off at ourselves. You know, what is it that's pissing us off? Where's the root of that? Is it coming from childhood? Is it coming from a belief? You know, a belief maybe that came from people who've been abusive to us in our lives, or who we perceive that to be that way. We've got to go inward and look. So, but, okay, I have not drawn some cards yet, but I want to draw. I just really like these because they're just plain and simple. So I want to draw 3 cards for today for us all. What we most need to hear about accepting ourselves, even the dark parts. So I just ask that only love and light come through the cards, and that the wisest and the most needed messages come through to show us or encourage us about loving ourselves and accepting those dark aspects of ourselves. Because, you know, I had to accept, I had to learn to accept those parts of me. You know, I'd often be embarrassed or, you know, find that I did certain things or said certain things around people, and it was embarrassing. It was humiliating. but I had to accept those aspects of myself. And, it's just funny that I'm having a hard time accepting just simple things within myself now. But, we forget, we go deeper. I don't know if you've ever heard of, peeling the layers back like an onion. We peel layer after layer, and when we get to the deeper layers, sometimes those can be the most difficult ones. But once you free yourself from those deep layers, then the freedom that comes after is solid. I mean, it's solid after dealing with that. So, okay, first card. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So, this is about expanding your awareness. And we can only be aware of ourselves if we pay attention, if we take those quiet times. So, I have a difficult time with meditation, just sitting and being quiet. But I have a monkey mind, and my mind can go off. So, I've been just trying to force myself to do this, but that doesn't really work either. So, one thing that I've come up with are mantras, like Om. And, I don't really know a whole lot about this, but it's a suggestion that I've heard, saying a mantra 108 times. So, and you can say it in your mind. So, I actually got these mala beads. These are called mala beads, and they have 108 beads. So, I can just be sitting on the porch and going, Om, in my mind, Om. And counting 108 times. And, I do find that when I do this, it does quiet my mind. And it just kind of gives my mind something to do, because I have a hard time being quiet. But I'm still going to be working on that meditation. I'm meditating. So, because it's helpful. So, growth. We want to grow through being aware of ourselves and expanding our consciousness. And that is done by going inside and taking some quiet time to really see what's in there and ask yourself some questions. Because, your higher self, the higher you, will answer you. Well, if you ask a question to yourself, you'd be surprised what you know that just you never even paid attention to. So take that quiet time, Okay, discipline. And this says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So it takes discipline to meditate. It takes discipline to take the time to go inside. It can be so uncomfortable. And so we don't want to do it, But if we just keep trying over and over again, keep taking that time little by little, we'll be disciplining ourselves. And just, even if we don't do much, even if it's just a minute, but if we keep taking the time to go for a minute, and then maybe 2 minutes, and then maybe 3 minutes, then, that's discipline. So, and nobody can discipline us. We have to discipline ourselves, right? So, and then the third card is grief. And it says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Because, we all deal with loss. I've talked a lot about my loss. And we can either become bitter or we can become better. So sometimes when we lose something, I lost stability. And so, now, I appreciate the little things. Oh, so much more than I ever did before. Because now I know what it's like not to have any stability. So, sometimes we have to deal with our grief. So, in regards to dealing with our dark side, we want to expand our awareness by taking time to go inside and ask ourselves questions and learn about ourselves, and then to discipline ourselves to do that, and then deal with our grief. Because, our grief is on the dark side because we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to deal with the losses in our lives. And I'm not just talking about, large losses. I'm talking about even the little things that we've lost. Stability, or maybe the boldness we once had, or, maybe we lost our beliefs in ourselves, our belief in ourselves. But you know, it also includes the big stuff when we've lost family members or friends or pets. You know, all of it, all of it. So yeah, so. So, thank you for coming with me here and checking out my new digs, because I'm really, really excited, and this is just a way I can get away and do my own thing around my own things. Because I have a teeny tiny little box in as for a room, and I appreciate my box. Let me tell you, I appreciate it. And I appreciate the fact that I can have this box. So, and I'm ready for more. And I've been doing my affirmations. I receive good graciously. People love to give me things. People love to help me. People love to give me rides. And the more I tell myself that, the more I believe that I deserve better, and that it's okay to get a hand up, you know. And little by little, I'll work my way into my own home. That's my dream, is my own home. You know, my own place that I can call my own, or if I find that partner, that wonderful partner, with my partner. So say your affirmations, accept your dark side, take the time to go inside and deal with it, and I will talk to you next time about the children. So we'll talk a little bit about the children. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I just want to thank you again, because you all so inspire me, and you know, it's like you're all my friends. And I really appreciate and enjoy your comments and getting to comment back, and I hope that we're learning from each other, and I'm definitely learning from the comments. So love you all, and I will see you soon. Mwah.